How are we all? Getting through lockdown, hopefully. And see how things go over the next month or so. Hopefully things will start to ease up and we are all back to normal, shall we say. I'm just going to check my audio levels before I crack on with this third race for Pro Am 3. Just bear with me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Just standby caller. There we go, so we're all good. Excellent. Good stuff. So, turn the volume down at that. So there we go with that. Hopefully if anyone makes any comments, they'll pop up and I can see them. So, we'll crack on with race 3, Pro Am 3. Let's just go to this view. So we'll go through the field as they qualified here at Sardegna. Yep, road track A2. RS Mark in his McLaren is in pole position. He is on Racing Supersofts. The Peter Mister, who I got his name completely wrong in the first video. He's awesome because he's in a beautiful looking Audi and it's qualified second. Tired Flea is here in third in the Racing Supersofts. Grim is in a Honda in Racing Supersofts. Crazy in fifth in a Subaru in Racing Supersofts. Quinn in a Jag here in sixth. Stewie Mac in seventh in a Dodge. DJ 8th in GTR, Spider Team 9th in Mazda on Racing Softs, and Evil Cat here in 10th. Unfortunately, we haven't got the dog to go with him. So there's only 10 runners in this race, 10 drivers even, and we shall start with the pole sitter. I have no idea what happens here. Start with the pole sitter and look backwards to see if we can see anything going on. Oh, there's a full start there! Full start by oh dear, it's caused a little bumping and barging, but there's a full start there, and it's not showing me if he's got any penalties for it. Oh, there's chaos back here as well, but it looks like, what's happened to Stewie Mac? Oh my goodness, right, let's go back here. What's happening here at the start? So Peter Mister gets a full start. Stewie gets a good... Oh dear. Oh, Stewie's getting rammed again at the back by Spider Team. Poor old Stewie Mac there. So chaos at the beginning of the... Oh, and nearly smashes into the wall there, does DJ. So he... Oh, Mark's drifted wide. Was just held up crazy. Crazy Admiral. In the Subaru is now in second place. So the field's starting to settle down. There's not only 10 runners. We've got Mark. He's held on to his pole position despite going wide at turn 1. Is still in first. Crazy is in second, coming to this little tiny chicane here. Unbalances the cars very well unless you've got a good gripping car. But the Tired Flea's now fighting for third. Is he going to get past... Where is he? There he is. So there's Flea. I've also noticed that there's positions possibly changing just behind. So Flea, no, he can't get that McGann past. Crazy going into this sharp right-hand bend. So Grimm's into fourth. Peter Mister, the Aston driver, is in fifth. DJ's in sixth. Evil Cat seventh. Quinn's back now to 8th. Stewie Mac, after a horrendous start for him, is in 9th. Spider Team 10th. So as Mark's now starting to pull away in his main contender, shame we couldn't see the qualifying times, but I guess we'll see them as we go through the race what kind of times they're doing. Mark's now got a bit of a gap now between him and Crazy, and the guy in the front row with him, Peter Mister, is back in 5th, so he's obviously going to be held up somewhat. Can Mark make the most of this time and start to pull out a lead now in his gorgeous looking McLaren, I have to say? Not so much the livery, but more to do with the actual car itself. It just looks like a very sexy car. Now, should I just have a camera there at turn 1 to see how many people get through that wall? The wall managed to get past, as you know, at some point, someone is going to smash that wall and wreck their race. But everyone's got through so far. So as the saying is, so far so good. So the map at the top right there now, you can see the field flowing through, coming up to this horrible little... You have to brake before you actually see the corner kink to the right, as Mark takes that very neatly there. And the Subaru now of Crazy's pulled out a much bigger gap between him and Tired Flea there in 3rd place. So as if you look at the map at the top right there, everyone's sort of, even on lap 2, they're starting to get strung out. Because here we have Mark coming into this turn, blind turn to the right, whereas the guys at the back have just come out the last corner, that little kink that I was just telling you about. But Mark's definitely starting to pull out a bit of a gap now, but it seems to be Crazy. He's pulling up close to him. The M&M sponsored Subaru definitely now pulling away from Tired Flea. Tired Flea, who had a great race last week. But he's now also, that's Tired Flea, is he going to be caught by that Honda there from Grim, the Welsh driver, coming through the unsettling left, right, left. The last corner, 3rd, 4th gear corner that is. And there's the hard charging Peter Mister coming down through. Here we go on the onboard camera. And there's a massive gap now. So the first 5 drivers have pulled out a huge distance between them and the rest of the field. Oh, I knew it. Someone's gone, and it looks like it's Crazy. I should just have a camera at turn 1 because this is going to be glorious entertainment. What goes wrong here? Oh my word! Head-on smash! That is so good. We're watching that again on board from Crazy's point of view. He gets it wrong in the entry, goes up too close here, and head-on! Oh dear, he would have gone straight through the windscreen. Oh, if that was real, he would have been killed. Oh, that's not funny him being killed, but that is absolutely probably the most that's the most you can wreck the car in the game. You must. How fast was he going? About 130 miles an hour straight into the wall. Oh dear, I shouldn't laugh. I'm glad you're alright, Crazy, and this isn't real. But that was... Shall we just have another camera? Just to say, just have a camera at turn 1. That'd just be great. Anyway, sorry. Crazy's now binned it in the most spectacular fashion possible. From 2nd place, he's dropped all the way down to 7th, which has just left the race leader Mark, who's now got a huge gap already over Tired Flea. And there's Grim in 3rd place. He's not catching them again, but now he is being caught by the glorious Peter Mister in the glorious, absolutely delicious Aston Martin there. I'm going to try not to have too many shots of the Aston Martin, but I mean, just look at it. It's a gorgeous car and I love it. Sounds great, looks great. Everything about it's great apart from its performance, which is kind of key, but there you go. Anyway, right, so moving on. So DJ is back here in 5th now. Oh, gets unsettled going through that left-right chicane. Quinn in the Jag, which is also a lovely car. I do like the Jag as well. He's got damage, so Quinn's got damage. Where did Quinn get that damage from? Still got it there. So he's obviously got it very recently, and he's smashed the car as well. Oh, I missed that. What happened there? It looked like Quinn just went straight on. What is going on with these boys? Straight into the barrier. Oh, he's only going about 70 miles an hour when he did that, but he's got huge damage to the front right and the front end of the car. You can see he's having to jiggle it about just to go straight. Oh, this is great entertainment from the Pro 3, the Pro Am 3 boys. I'm enjoying this one. Here we go. Is this car okay now? Yeah, that's car okay now. So, Quinn's binned it with the equally awesomeness He's got his indicator on. Pavel, is he going into the pits? No, he's not. He's got his indicators on. He probably did that in the crash that he didn't realise he did. It can Crazy get his position back over Quinn? He's very delicately through turn 1 that time, came off the power very early, but he's it's a 3. Well, Crazy was thinking about outbraking Quinn, but Quinn was outbraking DJ in the process. So can Crazy find a way through this melee of drivers here? Well, it's not melee, it's only 2 of them. But so far DJ's holding his spot, and they try and squeeze 2 cars through 1 spot. It's fortunately Quinn out. I shouldn't laugh. Quinn's been hammered here. He's unfortunately 2 cars going into 1 doesn't quite work, which slows Crazy up. So it slows him into Crazy, but then the ignominy of it is, let's just quickly go back to Quinn. He hits that wall straight on, right where he's hit it before again. Look at the damage on his car. Oh, poor old Quinn, I shouldn't laugh. So there he goes, scrapes through there. He hasn't got any damage at the moment. He's now got damage on the back. He's now got damage on the front right. He's got damage everywhere. Oh dear, and fair enough, Crazy actually eases back. Well, that was just 3 cars trying to go into 1 spot. And Crazy has damaged his car as well. Oh, this is great entertainment. Thanks, chaps. I needed this. In the meantime, after drinks break, Spidey Team, the American, with the Bond baddie Spectre blazoned across his Mazda, is catching the Demolition Derby team, tag team of Quinn and Crazy. Up ahead, Quinn is looking up the inside here, but Quinn's probably got to back out because he's scared of that corner now. And he does, he backs out. But here we go, so Spidey Team is catching this group, and Stewie Mac's not too far off. Evil Cat's having a very lonely race back here on his own. He's missing his best friend, the dog. In the meantime, as you can see, the field is properly strung out now. We've got 8 minutes into the race. There's still plenty of racing to go, but there's a humongous, massive lead for Mark and Tired Flea. Oh, I say that, yeah, Tired Flea's not too far behind. So there's a lead group of, say, 4 drivers now. I've pulled out a huge gap between themselves and DJ here in 5th place. Oh, I can see there's some swapping going back here, so we missed that. So Spidey Team, oh Quinn's done it again. Oh, sorry Quinn, so that Jaguar, it must be made of titanium, because he's smashed the front end of that Jag 3 times now, but it's 2 times now, but it's not good enough. He wants to do it again. He's smashed that car full speed into the barrier again, and he's got more damage on the front right and the front bumper, but he's still fighting back against Spidey Team, trying to undercut him, but Spidey Team has got the position now. We've got the battered Jag behind him of Quinn there, looking to try and undercut through this section now, and he bails out of it. So can Spidey Team now catch up to the crazy Subaru driver ahead to try and close these gaps up? Oh, Quinn was looking up the inside there, this sort of sharp right hand turn, and all that's just allowed is for Stewie Mac to catch up to these boys as well. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the map up front, and Evil Cat's just gone through that section coming under the bridge. Meanwhile, yeah, Mark has pulled out a bit of a gap over Tired Flea, but these 2 here look like they were catching up. It looks like Grim, who did fairly well last couple of races, sort of trundled around the middle of the pack, is starting to look quite sporty in this Honda compared to the McGann up ahead. Has he got the right equipment to make a fist of this race? Look at those lap times by Grim. He's very consistent, 49s across the board. Whereas the guy in front has done a 48, but he's also just done a 50. So Tired Flea has obviously made a mistake somewhere, which has let Grimm close the gap. So we have to keep an eye on this as the race goes on. The Aston Martin driver of Peter Mister, he's cruising around and doing 150s as well. So he's done a 49.7 and as his fastest lap time. How's his tyre wear looking? It's not too bad actually. So hopefully he's going to hope these two boys have, sort of hold each other up before he gets, so he can get to them. But they're all sort of strung out a little bit. So let's go back to the main entertainment. The Demolition Derby team of Crazy and Stewie Muller, they're really all strung out now. Quinn's back here still in 9th place after smashing his car 3 times now properly. He's right in the bumper of Spider Team. I think he's going to try and go up the inside of oh, he's done it again. He's smashed the right. He really doesn't like the front of his car, does he? That's the 4th time. Oh, Quinn, your quality. And he's still catching Spidey Team with a damaged Jag. What have you done to this poor man, Jaguar? Oh, he's dived up the inside with a damaged car and he shoves Spidey Team wide and he holds off and lets Spidey Team come back and take the place. That was very close to being a really good move considering the state of your damaged car, I have to say. It also looks like, I've noticed there, I don't know if anyone can confirm this or not, the traction control, it looks like he's got his traction control on because the symbol there for the skidding is coming on. Every time he tries to accelerate, yeah, it just flashes on. So I think Quinn has got his traction control on, which I'm surprised about. Evil Cat still, to be honest, looks like he's having a fight with the car and the track. Back here in 10th place. Just needs a bit of catnip to settle him down, I think. But he's well off the pace back here. So in the meantime, Mark has missed all this fun and games. And he's really literally cruising around. He still hasn't shaken off that flea. And that flea is definitely now being caught by Grimm. Still not really close enough. It might be interesting to see if the Honda can catch up to the McGann along the start-finish straight. Coming to this horrible little chicane here. You really want to put the power down earlier than you should, because if you just leave it until you can then accelerate through this sort of back row, sort of back grandstand area, you get a much better run. So Peter Mister's still there in 4th, but we'll go on, stay with Grimm here to see if there's a little puff of smoke there from the McGann in front. Can Grimm catch a toe from Tired Flea and close this gap up? He's got a fair play to Grimm. He's being very, very consistent here. 49, look at that, and again 49.9, 49.2, 49.9, 49.9, 49.5. Oh, that was so close. Whereas we're on board here with Flea. He's done 50s, 48s and 49s. Only smashed that car as well. I think the pressure's getting to him. As you can see, Grimm's right very close behind. And they can still see the race lead up there. So Mark hasn't been able to really pull away from these two. But the 2nd and 3rd have definitely pulled a gap now between 4th place. Come on, Aston. Come on, Pete. You can do it. Let's get at the podium this race. Oh, I love it, and the noise of the downshifting Aston Martin just sounds gorgeous. Deep guttural popping, that's great. Anyway, DJ has got Crazy all over the back of his GTR. I have to say, I think DJ's got a fantastic looking livery there. Crazy's not too bad either, but it's so battered at the front it's difficult to tell what's damage and what's livery. Now, did Crazy give DJ a little tiny shove there? I don't think he did, and even if he did, he just let DJ get the place. But coming streaming down past the windmills to this, I think that I named this next right-hand corner Church Corner because there's a church right in front of you just there, as you can see. This horrible blind apex corner. The fantastic view of the mountains behind and more windmills there. It's just a pretty nasty corner there because you can't see the apex. You have to kind of judge where it is. Just gauge it. Oh, so Tired Flea's into the pits. Third place guy's into the pits. So's the Aston driver, Martin. Pete, aka James Bonner in the Aston Martin's going into the pits. So that's allowed Mark and Grim to get through into first and second place. Just see if Crazy can do anything about this at GTI. He's fighting. He's definitely got the pace to get up close to DJ. DJ's doing 53-52, so I think Crazy's definitely got the pace to get past him. It's just he's trying to find a clean place to do it. So we're already halfway through the race. So now Mark, how's his tyres doing? Mark in the McLaren has now got a massive gap. Well, not a massive, but a bigger gap now between him and the second place, who is Grim. Now Grim, unfortunately, probably is now not going to look. Was just catching up to Tired Flea to get some sort of slipstream, but is not going to get it now. So he might not necessarily gain an advantage by racing now on his own. So Tired Flea's pitted and is on Racing Super Softs. Pete Mister is on Racing Super Softs, still in fourth. I think Pete pitted from fourth and he's come out in fourth, so he hasn't lost any positions at all. Tired Flea obviously has gone down one. So as we're coming around, where are we in the circuit? So here we go. Crazy has who am I missing? I'm missing someone. What's happened? DJ, that's it. What's happened to DJ? He seems to have dropped right off. Let's go back to, just quickly go back a little bit. Here we are. So here we go. Here's DJ. So Crazy did get a good run on him. Let's just say this is turn 2. Oh, DJ's just binned it wide into the grass, and Stewie Mac's also gone through as well. So DJ's made one mistake and lost 2 places from it. So is the pressure starting to tell on the GT driver, and he gets that turn wrong as well. He's obviously very unsettled. So Crazy's now up into 5th place. Stewie Mac's up to 6. He's on Racing Soft, so is Stewie Mac actually going to no stop? Dark Smoker inspired livery there across the back rear spoiler. DJ's now down to 7th. Spidey Team, who's also on Racing Softs, maybe no stopping as well, and at 8th. Quinn is in 9th. In I have no idea how you're still running a Jag. He's still trying to find a way past Spider Team. Can he make it into Church Corner? He's got the inside line. That was very brave, I have to say. Driving, and Mark's gone into the pits. Grim's gone into the pits. So I'll go back to them now to see where they come out. Mark's now coming out, but where is... let's just do this better, because I should do it better. So Tired Flea is coming along the start-finish straight. Can we see the other guys coming out the pits ahead of him? So there goes Mark out the pits, and there's Grim. Is Grim going to get the position? Oh, he's so close. No, he's not. I thought Grim might have got the position then on Tired Flea. He was so close, but it's not worked out. So Mark's got back out into first place. Tired Flea looks like he's a little bit closer to Mark than he was before the pit stops. Everyone's coming into the pits now. Grim's in 3rd. Pete's in 4th. Stewie Mac, who I suspect is no stopping, and Racing Softs is now up to 5th. DJ is coming out the pits. Just in front of him is Crazy. Just checking to make sure no one's come steaming down into the racing line there. So Crazy 6th, DJ 7th. Spider Team, who also I think is not pitting, as I'm Racing Softs here, is up into 8th. Quinn, I'd love to know what your team engineer said to you in the pits. Is back here in 9th. Evil Cat might just see a battered Jagger in front of him as he comes out. No, he hasn't quite seen it. Is back here in 10th. So we're 18 minutes in. All the pit stops look like they're probably going to be done. And at the moment, the closest sort of battles are I'd say Mark has got about, let's say, about 3-second lead, I'd guess, over Flea. Oh, Grimm's now fallen back towards the Aston driver. So this is a good battle brewing here. You know which view I want to go from. Aston Martin. Surely he's going to have a nice... Oh, he's got that wrong though, into the entrance to the last corner. Yeah, the Honda driver's pulling away already. So Grimm's got a good drive out the last corner, but even so... Oh, there's some change of position back here as well. What's happened here? Stewie Mac on Racing Softs. Is he oh, that's a strange one. He's even got I thought something changed back here. Something changed back here. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's strange. You've got Racing Super Softs on the back, and he managed to spin it up and go into the side. It's very strange. So Crazy's now in 6th, DJ's in 7th, Spider Team 8th, Quinn's 9th, Evil Cat still at 10th. So there's the battle I wanted to get to. The Grimm Honda versus the Pete Aston Martin. Can the Welshman hold off the Englishman? We're now coming up to 20 minutes. They've done the pit stops, coming up to this horrible little blind braking point for this kink to the right. It's right angle to the right as they now come past the windmills. On the right there, under the bridge, down towards Church Corner. Looks like this is really, at the moment, the closest sort of battles going on. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to be. If Pete can keep it tight and keep it close to that Honda at the last corner, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a nice draft through the first corner kink and then to the turn 2 proper. So he's still with him here. It's coming up to this little left-right chicane where it unsettles the cars quite easily. It caught the Aston out last lap. Has he managed to keep it control this lap? Yes, he has. So can he get the power down on the Aston Martin now? It also looks like Grimm's got closer to the McGann up. I was going to say Peugeot for some reason. I have no idea why I was going to say that. Up in front. No, the Aston hasn't got close enough yet, and he's off very early there. Could probably keep going a little bit more. So first place is only so Mark is still not really shaken off the 3 boys behind him, but this McGann of Tidefully is definitely starting to go backwards into second rather than catching the race leader up ahead. Very strange. Stewie Mac, who I thought was going to no stop, is not going to no stop. He's going to pit. So the only person out who might be no stopping would be Spider Team. Is he going to get out in front of Stewie Mac? He's just about done it. Yes, he has. He's nice and clean there. So how far behind is Quinn? The Armco bashing Jaguar driver! Nearly did it again! I thought he was in the barrier again then. Oh, that made me jump. And it looks like Evil Cat is just cruising around the back. So Mark has now managed to finally get some sort of distance between him and second place. Tired Flea is still hanging on to about a second lead over Grimm, but Grimm is now being caught into the clutches of that Aston, who's ever so slowly catching the Honda driver up on board again with the Aston. He's definitely closer this lap than he was the last one. So while we're just on board with the Aston Martin, I'm just going to have a quick drinks break. But you can definitely, just before I do that, you can see that Pete is really trying hard to catch up to the guys in front with the 148s. That was close. Much more power though there. Right, well, he's definitely close to the Honda now. Let's just see before we go any further. Crazy's now out on his own, quite a long way in front of the DJ. Spider Team is not too far away. Has Spidey pitted? No, he hasn't. With Stewie Mac behind them, and Quinn's now sort of basically just trying to keep it out in front of Evil. So let's go back to the only battle at the moment is these boys here. So the Honda's actually pulled a bit of a gap out over there, and I'm surprised. Through the long straight, I thought the Aston would have the power. So these boys are still pretty much stationary gap between the two, even though they seem to at times at the circuit close up and then pull away. As you can see, Grim here is still about 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds, I'd say, away from Flea. Flea hasn't caught Mark, and Pete can't seem to grab onto the back end of that Honda and just stay with it and get the slipstream into turn 2. So let's just flash through, see where everyone's at. So go through we'll go through the order as they come down through the sorry about all the flicking, there we go. For start finish. So Mark's done a 48, well, it's not as quick as 48 8. Flea's done a 49 1 last lap. Grim's done a 48 9. Pete's done a 48 7. Crazy's not showing me his fastest lap. He's still rounded doing in 5th place doing 50s. DJ's now, how far behind is these boys? So yeah, he's got ahead of Stewie, decent sort of gap between the two. Stewie-Mac's got a gap between him and Spidey Team. Spidey Team's got a gap between him and Quinn Quinn's got a really big gap between him and Evil Cat, who really is, as I say, fighting the car or the circuit, or he's actually fighting something inside that car, but it's just not being competitive for this race, unfortunately. So, with 5 minutes to go, Spidey Team's pitted. The guy that I thought was going to try and no stop, he's come in. Just going to put him back. I thought he didn't have anything to lose there by staying out, to be honest. But out he goes now. He's now back into 9th position on lap 14. 4.5 minutes to go. So what has the rest of this race got in store for us all? We've had fun and games earlier on with Quinn. It shows you just you can lose a lot of places very quickly here if you get one thing wrong, and this is where tiredness starts to set in. As someone that races myself, it's around about 25 minutes I'm starting to get a bit of fatigue, like, oh, is this race finished yet? And it's very easy to then start to make mistakes. You have to really adjust your focus to keep it going. So Flea still not catching Mark, but still hanging on out in front of Grim, who still can't find a way to close that gap. The Aston Martin driver is getting, you see Pete's catching up to the Honda, just can't stay with him through the rest of this lap, but he's definitely on a charge. In the meantime, Crazy's all the way back at the last corner, coming across the start finish straight now. DJ's just come around the last corner, still out in front over Stewie Mac, coming down the start and finish straight now. There's Stewie Mac. So everyone's pitted. Here comes the battered Jaguar of Quinn, Spider Team and Evil Cat there. So it's not too far away. Mark's only about 3 corners away from lapping Evil Cat. That's how fast and consistent he's been out in front, driving ever so well in that McLaren. 3 minutes to go. It's been stationary like this since the pit stops. They've not managed to do anything about each other back there. So looking back from Mark, but Mark certainly pulled out a gap. Just needs to hold it together. I love the steering wheel on that McLaren. Oh, that was very close. I thought it was a bit too wide then, actually, to be honest. Mark's coming down the left-hand side to start finish straight to start lap 16 with just over 2 minutes to go. So we're probably going to get about 2 more laps out of this race. Tired Flea. Still. Oh, he's full lock. Well. are going through there. That is close. All of them are pushing to the limits now. They're really all trying to make something about this difference. One of these boys, I'm sure at some point, is going to either drift wide, just get something wrong, and someone is going to benefit. But as you can see, Grim still can't make an effect. Pete still can't catch that Honda, and Crazy is far too far behind to make any charge for the top 4 positions, but he's well out on his own here in 5th. Oh, it looks like Stewie Mac's got a run here. What's going on with DJ? Seems to be a very poor run out the last corner, which has just allowed the Dodge driver now 2. Is he going to get past the GTI? He is. Oh, DJ, there's a big Dodge there. You should be able to notice it, mate. Oh, the Dodge is wide. Oh, he's going to hit the barrier. He smashed the barrier. They're trying to give each other too much room. Oh, disaster for Mac. To be fair, it was just a case. You could see what was happening. That he knew DJ was on the left-hand side of him, and he was having to take the longer way around and miss the apex. You can see he dabbed the brakes. He's just smashed the Dodge into the Quinn barrier. Not quite as fast as the Jag driver did it, but he's still quite hard all the same. So he's got rid of the damage now. Quinn saying that's not how you hit the barriers. I can show you how you hit the barriers. There's bits of Jaguar imprinted on the arm coat all around the circuit, thanks to Quinn. That was just quality. Anyway, right, so I digress. We've got, going through the field now, we've got 10 seconds to go. So these boys, Grimm's caught up to them again, but then Pete's caught up to that. So, but I want to go back to start-finish straight. The 30 minutes are up now, so I can always rewind it as well. Crazy is going to finish in 5th place. He's smashed that car once, but he's just had a very lonely ride through in the middle of the field for the last half an hour. But here he comes now to finish his race in 5th place. DJ has managed to hang on in front of Stewie Mac, or has he? Yeah, he has. He's just about to. So DJ's going to finish 6th. Stewie Mac, oh, it's very close though. Finishes in 7th. Spidey team's going to come along here now and finish in the Mazda in 8th. Crosses the line. Quinn, driver of the day for the wrong reasons for me, is in 9th. Evil Cat won't get lapped. Has held it together. Has been on his own for 31 minutes now. Is going to finish in 10th. There we go. So we go back to the race leader. He's been out in front since turn 1. I'm pretty sure he was the pole sitter as well. He's going to finish in 1st place now. I'll just give him a little bit of glory as he crosses the line to win. I have no idea how the other boys behind have gone along. Oh, here we go. Let's go back. So I thought these boys were getting close. I could hear them all together, and I was right. Look, we're on board with Grim here. So Grim has caught up to the flagging McGann, and he's got that wrong, which has just allowed Pete and the Aston Martin. Can he try and make a run around the outside of this Honda coming down the hill? He can't do it. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. He should have tried to just keep it on the left, and he might have got a better run. But it just means that Grim is going to Flea's going to finish 2nd, Grim's going to finish 3rd, and Pete, the Aston driver, is going to finish in 4th place. That was an entertaining race, chaps. Thank you very much. I should do the next race for Pro-Am 3 as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed that. The next question I've got for everyone before they go is, do you actually like London in the rain? Because I don't. See you later. Bye.